Let's get real, young person. You're never gonna buy a house.
Even the houses in the bank ads are selling for $1 million plus.
Do I hear $1 million?
Meanwhile, you're semi-drunk on your couch on a Friday night, wondering whether you have enough money to go to town later. Bad news, you don't. And if your parents can't help you with a deposit, you're going to be renting for a very, very long time.
But lots of people in New Zealand hate their rentals. They say they're leaky and filled with toxic fungi that's slowly killing them. I decided to see what I could do to help.
When we moved in, there was a little bit of mold. And as we got close to winter, that mold grew like a bad rash.
I'm going to go away and find the best advice and help you.
Kithiki's problems seemed bad, but there had to be solutions. I went to the man in charge of New Zealand's landlords to get some ideas.
So I've brought a case study with me today. There's some sad tenants. They say, oh, there's mold everywhere, mold on the ceiling, sort of on the walls, their faces. What should they do about that?
If it's a problem with the house, then the landlord will want to, or should, want to actually fix it.
But like if the landlord thing doesn't work, like what are their other options?
They can demand that it be repaired. Now, if they don't repair it within 14 days, the tenant can then take them to the tenancy tribunal.
That seems simple. Armed with my new information, I went back to Kithiki.
I've found some potential solutions. Have you tried talking to your landlord?
Their solution was to tell them when it got worse. And then it got worse, and then they told us to remember to open windows.
What about taking him to the tenancy tribunal?
But like, legal action is costly.
2 words, dump him.
Kithiki seemed to think my solutions were actually kind of bad. I went to a renter's advocate to find out why tenants are reluctant to take action against their landlords.
And I even put my finger through the top of that.
Why did you do that?
Because I wanted to show the level of filth. We had that family in that house for 2 hours. It was that bad. We moved them out by 1 o'clock. By 4 o'clock, another family was in there. That's the demand for any type of houses, including the shitty houses. Most of the houses we see are cold, damp, and miserable, and yet they're paying 65% of their income to the landlords.
But then you know that if you move out, there's 30 other families that are waiting to get into the same situation.
And that's why these people won't complain. They don't want to be a nuisance to the landlord.
So people are really afraid of speaking up against their landlords.
They don't know their rights. They don't want to upset the landlord because they're afraid that they'll get evicted.
So you're kind of screwed if you don't own a house, but you're screwed if you're renting without a lovely landlord.
You pretty much are.
I'm sorry, this wasn't as encouraging as I hoped. Hayden Donnell, Spinoff TV.